click on the, so I'm just going to present the screen. Where are the rest of the people? Only two people have joined, and one of them, oh sorry, let's wait. In the previous class, this was, okay. So in the previous day, we have learned about that what are the different type of vectors, and I think the last portion we have completed about the zero vector. Na? So today we'll just learn the rest of the topics. Priti, whether my voice is audible and the screen, the black color screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Actually, your voice is not coming.
Sir, it's audible.
Okay, okay. So now we are just starting the triangle law of vector addition. Okay, let me just give the heading here. Triangle law of vector addition. Na? So these laws are very much important whenever you want to add the two vector quantities. Okay. So in this case, we are representing one of the vector quantity along one side of a triangle. So this is the one side of a triangle. Okay. So in this triangle law of vector addition, suppose in this triangle law of vector addition, let me do one thing. At first, we are just drawing a triangle. Suppose this is a triangle that we have made. Okay. In this triangle, this is a side A, there's a vertex P, and this point is C. Okay. So we can say that in this triangle law of vector addition, we are representing one vector quantity along one side of the triangle. Suppose in this case, I am representing vector P along the side AB. I am representing vector Q along the side of BC. So their resultant vector will be represented by the third side of the triangle. Okay. So the resultant vector will be represented by this hypotenuse, and it is equals to R vector equals to P vector plus of Q vector, right? So this is actually the method by which we can add two vectors. So there one vector which is P, it is represented by one side of the triangle. Another vector Q is represented by another side of the triangle. So by the third side of this, we are representing the resultant of two vectors. So the resultant vector is R vector. It is equals to P vector plus Q vector. Up to that much, whether it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are just writing the law by which we can say this. Now here I'm just writing, okay, that if two non-zero vectors, non-zero means the both of the vector will have some non-zero value. Okay, zero vector cannot be represented by the side of the triangle. So if two non-zero vectors are represented, if two non-zero vectors are represented by the two sides of a triangle, okay, by the two sides of the triangle taken in same order, okay, then the resultant, then the resultant is given by the third side or the closing side, you can say it is more better, the closing side of the triangle in opposite order. Okay, So in this case, you can say that P vector is taken along the side of AB in this direction. Q vector is taken along the side BC in this direction. So I'm taking the resultant vector, but I'm adding in the opposite order. Like I'm adding the P vector at first with the Q vector. Okay. And the direction should be like this from A towards C. Okay. Just write down the triangle law of vector addition. This statement is very, very, very important. Preeti, after writing it down, just tell me whether it is written or not. Okay. Whether it is written, Preeti?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we are proceeding in finding out the magnitude of this resultant vector. Because in this case, we have represented R vector equals to P vector plus of Q vector. Okay. But this is not the magnitude. This is actually the vector representation. Okay. So whenever we have to find out the magnitude of the resultant vector, so in the next slide, I'm just proceeding that the magnitude of the resultant vector, magnitude of the resultant vector, it should be like mod of R vector. In the previous case, we have written R vector equals to P vector plus of Q vector. Na? So here the magnitude of resultant vector, it should be modulus of R vector. It is equals to under root of P square plus of Q square plus of 2 into P into Q cos of the angle theta. So in this case, which angle they are talking about? In this case, as you can see that there is some angle which is present here. We'll just prove that expression, okay? That which angle we are talking about and how I can say that modulus of R vector, it is equals to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, okay? So I'm just going to prove that expression so that I'm drawing the figure, the previous figure again in this slide. So this is actually one side of triangle. This is another side of the triangle. So along one side of the triangle, we have represented vector P. Another, along another side of the triangle, we have represented vector Q. And by the closing side of the triangle, we have represented the resultant vector, right? So in this case, I'm not able to apply any of the formula by which we can prove that modulus of R vector equals to that big expression that I have written. So if I want to prove that, I have to make a right angle triangle so that I can apply Pythagoras theorem. So how to make a right angle triangle? From this point, suppose if this is the point A, this is the point B, and that's the point C. From the point C, I'm just drawing a perpendicular line. Okay. So this is a perpendicular line I have drawn. And if I extend this line also, so they both will cut at this point. And suppose this is the point D. Here the angle created, which is equals to 90 degree. Okay. So in this case, this is actually the P vector, which is represented by the side AB, and along the side BC, I have represented the Q vector. So what is the angle present between the two vectors? This is actually given by this angle. This angle is written as theta. Okay. So in that expression, we are talking about this angle theta. So with respect to this one, whether I can say that a Q vector is working along the side BC, right? So what should be the horizontal component? What should be the vertical component? Say, everyone, I'm explaining again. There is a triangle BCD. Here I can say BCD is a right angle triangle. Okay. BCD is a right angled triangle. So in this triangle, angle D is equals to 90 degree. Angle CBD is equals to theta. So what can I say? Along the side BC, if Q vector is represented, then what will be the horizontal component? It should be of Q cos theta, Q cos of theta, and along the vertical line, it should have a component of Q sin theta, right? These are the two components we can say, because BC is actually a side which can be taken as a hypotenuse. Gagan, don't annotate. Wait, let me disable the annotation. Okay. So here, just look at the triangle BCD. Here, BC is the hypotenuse. Along the hypotenuse, Q vector is working, which is having an inclination angle of theta. So the horizontal component should be Q cos theta. Vertical component should be Q sin theta. All right. Up to this much, whether it is clear? Gagan, Priti, Ananya.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just draw the figure at first. Otherwise, whatever I will explain, it will just go above of your head.
Yes, sir.
Draw the figure at first, everyone. Ananya, why that the screen is visible perfectly? I hope in your portion there is some network issue. Actually, it will be more better if you just come out at K Kitchen, okay? If you are doing the class at
Yes, sir.
near about the K Kitchen, I think the network condition will be more good. Actually, that happens that in the hillside areas, the bandwidth of the signal is not so much as strong, and that's why there the signal quality becomes poor. Now, in class 11, you will learn that what is actually the bandwidth, what is frequency, what is the relations, everything. There are so many things to learn. So just write down whatever I have written in the board, then I can proceed. Whether it is written, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very good. Now I can proceed. Now, can you say that here the total right angle triangle, you can take that BCD is a right angle triangle, right? You have taken BCD is a right angle triangle, but if I am saying that triangle ADC is also a right angle triangle, whether it is wrong? Triangle ADC is a right angle triangle, I am saying. So whether it is wrong or right, say with respect to the figure you have drawn in your copy. Gagan, Priti, Ananya say that ADC can be a right angle triangle. Now wait, let me just zoom that portion. Now just say, I hope the figure is so big now in your screen. Now just say whether ADC is like a right angle triangle. Look
Yes,
at the
sir.
figure.
No, sir.
Why it is no? Because if you are saying that BCD is a right angle triangle where one angle is 90 degree, I can say that ACD or ADC is also a right angle triangle because it is also having the right angle at D. As you can see the figure, right? So as I have got a right angle triangle, I
Yes,
will
sir.
apply the Pythagoras theorem. As per the Pythagoras theorem, what is that? Here actually you can say it is actually the proof, okay? So give a heading here. This is actually the proof of this formula. We are going to prove that. So now say what is actually Pythagoras theorem, everyone. Anushika, Priti, Gagan, Pythagoras theorem. Ananya.
A square plus b square is equal to h square.
A square plus b square equals to h square, I know. But in respect of this triangle, what can I say? It should be like perpendicular square plus base square equals to hypotenuse square. Okay. So in this case, the base is having the length of how much? Along the base, which are the two components are represented? In this case, as I have represented the vector P along the side AB, and in that portion of BD, I have represented Q cos theta. So whenever I have to take the base, I will add the two things now. I will add a P vector and this Q cos theta. Whenever you are adding the two quantities, obviously their magnitude should be taken. So in this case, instead of taking P vector, you should take modulus of P. Okay. So modulus of P vector can be written as P only. So whenever I will take the base is having the side of AD. So I can say in triangle ADC, AD is equals to how much? AD is equals to P plus of Q cos theta. Just see the figure and say AD equals to P plus Q cos theta. Can I say? The both of the components I have added only. If I have to zoom, I can zoom as well. Now just say, if you consider the base only, the two things I can add, that is of P and Q cos theta. Whether it is true, whether you have understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Now, if I have to consider the perpendicular component, I'm zooming again. Now the perpendicular component will be which one?
Vector Q.
No, it's actually Q sine theta. Q sine theta is represented along the side BC. So the perpendicular component will be Q sine theta. So let me write down in the next slide that BC is equals to Q sine theta. So I'm applying the formula of Pythagoras theorem. According to that, I can say that AC square is equals to AD square plus of BC square. So AD is equals to how much? I have already written. It is equals to P plus Q cos theta, that whole square, plus of DC square. DC square means Q sine theta, that whole square. And AC is what? AC is actually the resultant component, right? In this case, whenever you are writing with the help of Pythagoras theorem, only the magnitude will be considered. So I am taking modulus of R vector and it is equals to R only. Okay. So AC square is actually R square. So I'm just writing down the total expression here because I will get more space. So R square is equals to A plus B whole square formula. That is of P square plus of Q square cos square theta plus of 2PQ cos theta plus Q sine theta whole square. That means of Q square sine square theta. Now if Q square cos square theta and Q square sine square theta are added, then what I will get? That P square plus of 2PQ cos theta. Then I am adding Q square cos square theta plus Q square sine square theta, right? So in the next line, if I am taking as common, then Q square can be taken as common and it will be cos square theta plus of sine square theta. Now, what is sine square theta plus cos square theta? Guys, it's just a basic trigonometry formula. Just say, what is sine square theta plus cos square theta?
Sir, 1.
Very good. If I substitute the value 1, then it will be p square plus 2pq cos theta plus of q square. And in the left hand side, the r square will remain and continue. So r square is equals to that much. So r is equals to under root of p square plus of 2pq cos theta plus of q square. So we have proved that the resultant of the two vectors are p square plus 2pq cos theta plus of q square. This is the magnitude of the resultant vector. Okay, in this way you can do the proof. Okay. Now in your exam, the proof can be asked, okay, that prove that for the two vectors, they are working along the two sides of the triangle, the magnitude of the resultant vector will be that much. It will be for 2 marks only, the total derivation, because it's a childhood thing, so that's why it will asked as a 2-mark question. Okay, so just write it down and tell me if you have any of the problem fast. Why that is done, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very good. Now we are proceeding for some small questions, which can be asked from this concept. Okay, where and now one more important thing, that in this formula, the p square and this q square, 2pq, whatever I have written, they are in the magnitude form. That means if the two vectors are given to you, at first you have to find out the magnitude, then you have to substitute their value in the given formula. Let me give you one example, then you will understand it well. So if suppose A vector is equals to I cap plus of j cap, B vector equals to I cap minus j cap, and the theta I am also giving. Okay, angle between A vector and B vector is suppose 60 degree. Find out modulus of R vector. This is actually the resultant vector. Okay, write down the question at first. Now, why that the question is written, everyone? Gagan, Priti, Ananya.
Finish, finish copy.
Okay. Now, in this case, whenever we have to find out the modulus of a resultant vector, in this case, how to find out that if the A vector is given, okay, in this case, if the A vector is given as I cap plus of j cap, then I can say modulus of A vector will be how much? It should be under root of coefficient of I cap, this is 1, that whole square, plus coefficient of j cap, this is also 1, its whole square. So it is of under root of 2. I'm getting. If I do the modulus of B vector as well, so B vector is equals to I cap minus of j cap. Now modulus of B vector, it is equals to under root of coefficient of I cap, it is equals to 1, its whole square, plus coefficient of j cap, it is minus 1, its whole square. So it will also come as root 2. Why that these two things are clear, everyone? Three of you just say why that these two things are clear or not. Priti, Gagan, just say.
So it's clear.
Okay, thank you. Now here the angle, that is theta is equals to 60 degree. So I can say modulus of R vector, it is equals to under root of A square plus of B square plus 2AB multiplied by cos of the angle theta, right? We have to apply this formula. So just substitute all of the values and tell me the final answer, what I will get. Okay, the value of modulus of A vector, modulus of B vector, the value of angle theta, everything I have given. Now for this first question, if I am just solving for you, then I hope it will be more easy to understand. So it is equals to a square, that means root over of 2 its whole square, plus b square means root over of 2 its whole square, plus 2ab, that means 2 multiplied by a is having a value of root 2, b is also having a value of root 2, multiplied by cos of the angle theta, that is cos 60. Right, this thing we know. Now if I proceed, then what I will get, that under root of root 2 square, it is equals to 2. Then under root of root 2 square, it is also equals to 2. Then I'm saying 2 multiplied by what I have written, that root 2 multiplied by root 2, it is also equals to 2, and cos 60 is having a value of half. We know it very well from the trigonometric ratios, that one of the two is getting cancelled out, and how much I am getting, 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? That is root over of 6 I'm getting here, right? So this is the value of modulus of r vector in this case. After substituting all of the values, we are getting the answer like this. Now you can write it down. For the first question, I'm solving it for you. Just write it down fast, fast. Now in this week, one small assignment will be given in Google Classroom. Actually, I have to check that whether you people are in Google Classroom or not. So till that time, you just write, and I'm just checking whether you are in the Google Classroom. No, you guys are not present there. Let me add you. So everyone, whether it is written, Priti, Gagan, sharing, Ananya, whether this thing is written.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's go to understand the parallelogram law of vector addition. Okay. The parallelogram law of vector addition, I think we'll do in the next class, because it will consist of derivation. The same formula we have to derive with the help of parallelogram law of vector addition. Okay. We have to write down the statements. That means, as like the triangle, with the help of the parallelogram, if I represent the two vectors along the two adjoint sides, then the diagonal will be represented to find out the resultant vectors of the two. Okay, we'll explain in the next class. Till that time, just proceed with this. Today, I will just add you people in Google Classroom. So just join with the invitation that I am sending in the group. Okay, then complete the assignment that will be uploaded today or tomorrow. Okay, so till that time, the class is finished. The physics episode for today is over. So tomorrow at the same time, oh no, not in the same time. As per the schedule, we'll have the class. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. Be safe. Oh, just wait. Let me take the attendance. Every time I just forward. Okay, it's taken. Now, thank you.